We know we are sure we are rainbow Youtheens. Rainbow.
I've read several books, I've gone for several trainings, and I'm here to discover my purpose. My friends said they discovered theirs and they started fulfilling it. Oh God, what's happening to me? What's this? What's this? God help me! Mommy! Mommy!
Favor, what is it?
All my friends are fully discovering their purpose, but no one seems to teach me. I don't know how to discover my purpose.
Where did you get all these books from?
I got them from the school library and the ones I bought from the shops.
Just that.
Yes, ma'am.
May I get them? So purpose is the problem.
Yes,
I have good news. And you stop crying now. Yesterday I was searching what's that? YouTube. I was just browsing through it and I saw this teenagers family, they call it R.A.I.N.B.O.W Youtheens, youth and teens. And I was listening to one of their discussions on discovery of purpose. The way they simplified it, if you listen to it, in fact, before you be true, you already be working in your purpose. Where are they? They are not there. They're everywhere. You just need to connect with them online. That is it. So anywhere you are, you can join them. You can connect with them. Yes, go and bring my phone. Let's join them. This children. Just purpose. That's why she wants to kill herself. It is well.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Rainbow Youtheens channel. I am Auntie Kelechi. And today I'm with my son and daughters and we'll be discussing a very interesting topic. Really interesting. Okay, so with me here are
Fidelis Ogonda.
My name is Chris Precious.
My name is Daniel Abundance.
okay, and today we're looking at a topic that have been of great importance to so many young people, and that is discovery of purpose. Like the playlist you watched, a lot of young people have been thinking of how to discover their purpose from books, discover their purposes from films, discover their purpose from motivational discussions. And it now looks so cumbersome, like it's too big, they cannot find their purpose. Like they get in the playlist, you had read all the books ahead, couldn't find the purpose. So today we would like to get into details of how you can discover your purpose, because your purpose is already in you. It's just for you to plunge in and get it out. You don't need to read big books or open big dictionaries. Your purpose is right there in you, waiting to be plumbed out. Okay? So Fidelis, what would you say is purpose?
Thank you very much, ma'am. Purpose, simply put, is the reason why something exists. That's the meaning of purpose, why something exists. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The reason why something exists. Wow. Okay, and of course, is there anything that exists without having a reason? I think everything has a reason for existing. Even sometimes we wonder that why does things like fly exist? But to be honest, there are things that need fly to also survive. Okay, so everything that exists has a purpose. Okay, Precious, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes. Purpose is simply God's agenda for mankind for a season to be accomplished by you. In that it is the meaning of one's existence.
Still boils down to existence. God's agenda for you to be breathing. You breathe in and out, you're living. So God's agenda for you to be alive is your purpose. Okay, so we'll quickly get into, I hope that's understood, that now your purpose is God's agenda. Why did God create you? Why are you breathing? Why are you alive? Why are you living? That's just your purpose. It's not a big word that you need to start opening all the dictionaries to look for. It's just the reason why you are breathing. Even the reason why you are watching us now. Okay, so we'll get into the next thing. There's this Miles Monroe book I read. It's on discovering of purpose. And there were 5 key questions he asked in that book. I don't know, I'm sure we've read that book. He talked about there are 5 questions we must ask ourselves. He talked about, I noted it that one is, who am I? That question deals on destiny. I want to lay these foundations because it will form the basis of what we'll be discussing today. So that book, you can get it, Discovery of Purpose by Miles Monroe. It talks about who am I? So before you discover, so take you through this topic, you must answer these questions. Who am I? That's your destiny. The second one is, where am I from? That's your heritage. That's your roots. Okay, where am I from? Where am I coming from? Before you tell me you're from your village or you're from one city. Okay, so where am I from? Then the next one he mentioned is, why am I here? Which is what Fidelis and Precious talked about. They said, why am I is your purpose, the reason why you are existing. Because anybody that will ask the question, why am I here, means that person is alive. That means that person is existing. So the reason why you are existing. And the next question is, where am I going? Which is destiny. So these questions by Miles Monroe are things that you must answer for you to be able to know God's agenda for your life. So I'll quickly go to the next question. Abundance, why do you need to discover purpose?
Thank you very much, Ma. One of the reasons we need to discover purpose is the need to be specific. Now, if you do not have a purpose, if you have not discovered your purpose, you would see the need to join everybody do what they are doing. It's as though you're watching a forest from a distance and you're seeing trees. You think they're all the same, but go a bit closer and you would see that they are all uniquely shaped. Their leaves are different, their fruits. So that is how humans are. Even your fingerprints tell you that you're not the same with another person. There is a purpose for which God made you. So except you get to know it, you won't be specific to know that purpose that God has created you for. You will just blend in instead of stand out.
Oops. So purpose is what makes you to stand out. And that is to say that purpose is your genuity, is your blueprint. Based on what you just said, it means purpose is each individual's blueprint. And my blueprint is different from your blueprint. We might have similarities, we might have things connecting us, okay, but we still have our unique traits that makes us stand out. Okay, I'm not going to ask only you that question. And Fidelis, why do we need to discover purpose?
Thank you very much, ma'am. Purpose is what gives you a reason to live.
Oh.
Because if you don't know your purpose, your life will be like an experiment. Just do try and error. Let me try. But when you know who you are, you know why you are existing, you streamline your attention and focus on something. So it gives you a reason. This is why I am existing. I would like to add that there is a bit difference between living and existing.
Yes.
If you don't know who you are, if you know your purpose on earth, you are just existing and not living. So purpose is going to be able to give you that reason to live. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mentioned that with purpose, you have a reason to wake up every day.
Yes.
So there are people that wake up and they're like, why did I even wake up?
Yes.
Why? In fact, I don't feel like waking up. Okay? And this is where addiction comes into place. Please watch our previous video. We have a video on addiction. Okay, so watch it so that you can understand better. Because they don't have a reason to be alive. So they have to take something that will make them die to a lot of things. And then when they wake up to reality, they're like, why did I wake up from sleep? There's no need me waking up from sleep. Before I ask the next question, I want to ask Precious, at what point did you discover your purpose?
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. Like you already said, purpose is what gives you a reason to live. Now, there was a particular time in my life when I thought music was all for me to do. Like, I thought that was my last bus stop. This is where I'm going to, and when I just get there, that is all. So I started growing into, I found God. And then I started growing into knowing that purpose is just one of the spices to just make my ministry a smooth one.
Music.
Yes,
Purpose.
yes, sorry, music
Yes.
is one of the spices to just make my ministry a smooth one. So the point where I started exploring my interests, searching myself, and being in God. That was when I now realized my main purpose, why I came into existence.
Okay, if I got her right, she mentioned that at a point in her life she felt, oh, it's just music. Everything about Precious, everything about herself is music. And if she's not doing music right, that means she's not fulfilling purpose. But a deep search into the word, she realized that music is just is another spice to the things, the many things she is here on earth to do. Okay, Fidelis, I think I need someone to also buttress on that point. At what point did you find your purpose on earth? And can purpose be just one?
Thank you very much. I think as a young boy, at I think age 11, I wrote a book. I was writing before I entered ministry. I had books, I've written more than three. I even jumped into one, I think, believe in yourself. So I was like, wow, I wrote it at age 11. So I started writing books and I had this sense of satisfaction in it, but something was missing. I started growing. Purpose is not something you know at just one sitting. Yes. It's a journey. As you grow,
You discover more.
yes, you discover more. So you may think you've been called to do something, but while you grow in it. So as I started growing in age and information, I started discovering some parts of me that I have not explored yet. So as I grew, I started seeing that God has called me for something else, to do something more. Hallelujah. So as you grow, as you journey, you start discovering things that are locked up in you that you can't see at this city. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. You mentioned something very interesting because some of you think that purpose has to be one. He said, now we know in parts, later we'll know in full. So the more remember, our topic is discovery. If it's one thing, there's no need discovery now. One thing, you just look and find it. Discovery means there has to be digging and digging and digging. Gold, does it just you can't dig and just see gold anyhow. You keep digging. You see other things, you dig. Even when you find gold, it's not spelled gold there. There has to be a refining. Then it becomes gold. So your destiny, your purpose is not one thing. Okay, my purpose is just to hold mic. That's what he's trying to say. That he found out that he could write at an early age, which is what I also found out. And then as he kept on growing, we being exposed to information, being exposed to a lot of people where he learns, he also found out that he's called into ministry. Now, you see that writing and ministry is going hand in hand. And he didn't mention, he also sings. And you now see that God is just revealing the other part for him. So writing, there's ministry, there's singing, they all are components that define him. So purpose must not necessarily be one thing. There has to be a discovery. As you keep searching, as you keep growing in the Lord, you keep finding out that there are other components that you need to add to yourself. Okay, this question I said I was going to ask all of you. So at what point did you find your purpose or purposes, if I may add?
Okay, growing up as a little girl, I had some interests. Number one was singing, number two was writing. But then when I gave my life to Christ, let me mention before I gave my life to Christ, I didn't really have platforms to develop these gifts. I just knew that I had interest in them. I liked it when another person did, I wanted to do it. But when I gave my life to Christ, I began to see the need to develop these things, how I could, and on the different platforms that I could at least show for these gifts that God has put inside of me. And although I'm not through with discovering my purpose yet, I've seen the aspects that God will want me to work on. So that is when
Okay. If I could drop something from what you said, it means that what all of you said, that potential has something to do with purpose. So that is to say that what is in you is also what can be used to serve God or to find the next thing. Like God told Moses, what's in your hand? So, which is to say that as you're listening to us, remember they are all saying that there is no you just waking up and there is one purpose. You just discover that it's this water. No. That the more you grow, the more you find. But that everything that they found thus far was something lying in them. So you need to look inward. What is that potential? What is that gift? What is that thing that comes out naturally for me? For me, growing up, I liked writing and I liked talking. So it was easy. I like reading. If you write, you must know how to read. So I like reading, I like writing, I like talking. And I knew. Then when they asked me what was I going to study, I said I would do mass communication. Anything that will make me talk. So and then now I'm in ministry. Just find out that it's all connecting. From I like talking, I like reading, I like writing. It still boils down to what I read. So most likely it's just in you. Just for you to plug in and pull it out. Your purpose is not far-fetched from what you're very good at. What is burning in you. Like the Holy Spirit was telling me that you want to discover purpose, find a problem that you are solving. Or what problem does your heart beat for? Simple, very easy. What is it that when you see you don't want it to be like this or you want to change? Like me, I love to read. I want to write the one that people want to read. So it was just a simple thing identifying whatever it is that God has put in me. Okay, so we've talked about why do we need to discover purpose, right? Okay, so why does it appear difficult to discover purpose, especially among young people? Denise, why is it very difficult? Because this topic is as a result of questions they've been asking me. How do I discover purpose? Why is it difficult for them to discover their purpose?
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would say two points. One of them is distractions. You cannot find purpose in the market. You must sit down with yourself and find it. Many of us are distracted. We just someone is doing it, I can do it, let me go and do it. And you try and you see that you're not good at that. You don't get satisfaction, so you have to rush on and go out. Let me try distractions. So if you must find purpose, you must pull from the crowd. Stay with yourself and discover what is in you. And when you find purpose, the second point is self-acceptance, lack of self-acceptance. When you find purpose, it will not demand from you a height you never have and can never have. It will fit in. Many of us, we like, naturally I'm an introvert, I'm reserved and quiet person, and I used to run from debate and God has helped me, this stuff has to run. So when I discovered my purpose, it didn't change my introvert nature. Yes. It just helped me to use my introvert nature. So when you find your purpose, it will say, assuming you were taller, I would have fit you. It comes to you as you are. So many of us are not in purpose yet because we don't accept who we are. So you must accept it first. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You just noted very great points. Distraction. Proverbs 4 from 24 to 27 talks about distraction. Do not look to the right, do not look to the left. He said focus over the path. When we are distracted, a lot of young people want to be everything.
That's true.
Today they want to be Kim Kardashian. Tomorrow they want to be, you're just carried away by celebrities. Then the next thing they will say, okay, they've repented. They want to be Messi Chinwo. They want to be GUC. They want to be Travis Green. In fact, you want to be everything. You're distracted. Then the next thing you say, I like the way Ramsey Noah acts. You now want to become an actor. You cannot experiment. You cannot find purpose when you are so confused and distracted. You need to sit down. The scripture says that which man that wants to build a house that will not first sit down and say, okay, where do I start? Number one, I should buy land. What is the cost? I put the cost of the land. Then if I'm to build a house, what is the first thing to build a house? Isn't at least you lay the foundation. You just wake up and you want to be this, you want to be sound, you want to be producer, even sound, you want to be sound yourself, not even sound manager, you want to be sound manager, you want to be sound, you just want to be everything, you're distracted. Tomorrow you see this one, what this person is doing is so appeasing to you, you want to be that person. So that's why you say that distraction will make you not to find your focus. Because it will make you not to look inward. You're just looking outwardly, looking at people. And then the next point he mentioned was lack of self-acceptance, self-denial, very important. You just look at yourself, you just see you're not good enough, which was what she said. I'm not just good enough, so I can't be accepted. If I'm not approved, I'm not recognized. And he mentioned something. He's an introvert. Yes, he's an introvert. And then most of you will give excuses. Oh, I'm an introvert. I can talk very well. I would have been very good in carrying out this. But you see how knowledge and understanding has made him. He now uses introvert nature to blend. He can now talk even where extroverts can talk. He can talk and still make impact.